The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
Hello and welcome to Cowboys Storyline. It is Monday, October 27th. Cowboys fall to the Denver Broncos on Sunday, 44-24. Not a game that I was expecting. Obviously, I really thought the Cowboys would play way better. I thought the Cowboys would control the game and win by 2 scores. Totally wrong on that one. Denver was way better than Dallas. The Cowboys could not handle the I don't know about the altitude. I don't know about that, but they certainly couldn't handle the mile-high crowd in Denver. Too many penalties before the snap, and they just couldn't handle the pressure of these winning consecutive games. That's what you have to do in the NFL. You got to stack wins together. You got to handle success as much as anything else, and they definitely did not. Very, very tough loss and a disappointing loss just because, you know the defense has its problems, and I'm not giving them a pass, but they have their issues, and at this point the offense just has to be perfect, and they weren't at all, and the offensive line looks like a problem. That's kind of formulating when you're going up against some really good aggressive defensive fronts. We've seen them have some success, but when they get beat in the middle, they really can't do hardly anything. Ferguson's not a factor. Javonte Williams is not a factor, and they can't really open it up to the outside. So, all right, let's talk about it. 888-855-2297 is the number to call. Chris, let's start with the phone calls. I don't have it in front of me. Just
Irwin in Denver.
Let's get it started. Let's go. Irwin, what's up?
Hey, Nick, how's it going? Good morning to you guys.
Morning to you.
Yeah, what a complete disaster. I mean, it just didn't look like they were prepared to play. They had to have known they were going and playing the best defense in the NFL. The offense, I mean, they made Bo Nix look like he was Tom Brady. I mean, it's just an embarrassment, really. And, just a couple more things. I'll let you go, and thanks for taking my call. But, I was really on board. I spoke with you last week about the Cowboys possibly, with everything still on the table about a trade. At this point, the defense needs so much that I don't think a player like Crosby or anybody like that will come in and really, do anything to help that defense. I think right now what the Cowboys need to do is just stick with their draft picks next 2 years, just go all defense, try to rebuild that defense, because I'll tell you, I will take an outstanding defense any day over, an outstanding offense. And I'm not taking any shots at our offense, but we can look back at history and, with the Ravens, remember when Ray Lewis, that defense was just incredible, and their offense was just okay. I think it was Trent Dilfer was the quarterback, and basically all they wanted them to do was don't screw up anything, and we'll win this game. If the offense would score a touchdown or 10 points, they pretty much were going to win that game. So I don't know. I don't know what you think about it. Talking to my son, we were watching the game, and he was like, honestly, it looked like the Denver Broncos were a professional team, which they are, and the way the Cowboys looked, they looked like a Division I or Division II college team. Right. That's how terrible it looked. And on top of that, they have players playing out of position, Redding playing safety. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what you think about all that. It's just, wow.
All right. Thanks for the call, Erwin. I know that you said it last week that it was emotional for you personally, so and you could tell that in the call. Probably, I don't know if everyone's about ready to jump off the ledge like that, but it was a tough one. It was, no doubt about it, tough loss. I don't agree with the part about the trade. To say that an all-pro player can't help this team, I don't agree with that at all. But, I think – I don't even know if they need that good of a player, but they definitely need some help. And I think that game was proof to me that you have to go do something. I would definitely go make a trade today, tomorrow, whatever. figure out a way to get some help in here. I would. Yeah, I was. I've been saying it all along, but I think that game right there proves to me that you definitely need to go and add some help to this team. I know people disagree with that, but But we're going to be watching these next 9 games, and I don't want to watch that anymore. So that's part of my reason there. All right, Pete in Connecticut's next.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
Good. How are you?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Cowboys need to blitz or do something to get that defense going, because it's reminding me, like, every year in and year out, every time we play a team that shows a little bit of toughness, we just crumble on defense. It's the same as the Bears game, and it's just very frustrating to watch. And Bo Nix saw that time in the world yesterday,
Yeah.
and we got to do something on defense. I don't know if it's the coordinator or if it's the players. I hate to think it's players because they played well in previous seasons, but we just can't get to the quarterback, and it's frustrating to watch when, Bo Nix had 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket almost the whole game, and we got to do something. So that's my only comment.
I agree. I totally agree. Thanks, Pete. Thanks for the call. The pass rush, we've been saying it forever. I mean, but not forever, this season, because the pass rush has been good in previous years. But these guys, there's just nobody. There's nobody on this pass rush that does anything, at least consistently. You might see somebody every once in a while get a win, but it's not even to the point where, you didn't get a sack yesterday, got a little bit of pressure. A couple of pressures every now and again, but, not consistently. And Bo Nix, solid player, right? But they made him look better than that. He tried to tell you what he was early in the first drive of the game. They threw an interception to a guy that probably shouldn't even be playing. Traqueezy Bridges. He gets the pick, and you think, all right, this is where the Cowboys can be today. They can win this game. They can beat this guy. And they didn't take advantage of that. But just the entire game. They can't stop the run consistently. Inside, outside, it's just 5-6 yards a pop. It's 6 yards a pop is what it is, not 5. It's 6 yards a pop every single time. Giving up big plays. There's about 12 to 13 explosive plays in the game. That's just double what it normally should be. So, I feel like just something. I agree with you. Something has to be done. You have 9 games left in this season, so I'm just not to the point to say, well, just, don't do anything, can't do anything. Seasons, you're not even at the halfway point of the season, and you have a good thing going for the most part in offense. Offense isn't perfect, but you have a good thing going. I still feel like there's a way to fix it and to try to, play complementary football, as what Denver did. Denver plays complementary football. The Cowboys don't. At all. And when they're great on offense and bad on defense, they have a chance though. But when they're average on offense and bad on defense, you're gonna get beat by 20 every single time. Josh in New Mexico is next.
What's going on, Nick? How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. Well, I'm all right, but
Yeah,
just want to say shout out all the storyliners. I've listened every day. Can't really call as much. Got work and stuff, but try to call when I can. But
well, I appreciate that.
I just want to say I'm glad that we did not use any of our first-round picks to get Max Crosby, because there's a lot more holes on this defense than people think. So I'm glad I think we should just hold on to those and see what we can do in the draft. But I just want to say don't give up yet. Still halfway through the season, like you said, so got a lot of time to play. Maybe some good additions, not great, something to fix the defense. But overall, I just thought the team lost the game as soon as we didn't score that touchdown after the interception.
Yeah, those two back-to-back possessions. Thanks for the call, Josh. Those two. When you lose by 20, it's tough to kind of pinpoint a few plays. You guys have probably seen it. I've done it for several years. That the 5 plays. Don't forget these 5 plays, and when the game gets out of hand like that, I mean, it kind of makes all of the plays a little bit, insignificant. But the first drive for the Cowboys offense, I'm not trying to talk bad about the officials. The Cowboys got blown out in the game, so let's just call it what it is. I've gone back to watch that sequence there, and there's some things that I had a problem with. Number one, CeeDee Lamb catches the ball, goes out of bounds. It's the closest thing to us in the press box. I mean, that spot is the closest thing we can see. So we have a really, really good view of that. Just from the view, I'm just like, wow, that's a big play. He almost scores. That's going to be 1st and goal from the 1. No, they put it back like on the 4. And I went, I thought it was closer to the 1 the way he stretched out. I go back and look at it again. Again, it should have been probably at least the 2 or 3. So 1st and goal at the 1. Javonte gets a couple of yards, gets to the 1. 2nd and goal, false start. On the center is what they say. Center? How's that a false start? That they changed it to Tyler Smith. Oh, okay. So I go back and watch it right there, and then I'm like, I don't see the false start. Maybe they meant Guyton. And I'm looking, and I'm looking for like 7 or 8 times. I still don't see a false start. I don't know who they called that on. I don't know. But that was a huge play because then it pushed back to the 6. The Cowboys can't do anything with that. And, they end up getting a field goal. Then the next drive, they're off the field. They're off the field on a 3rd down play. They show a little pass rush with, I believe it was Clowney around the edge, and he almost gets there, and then Bland knocks the ball away. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. It's a big-time stop. It's 2 stops in a row now. They got a pick and then a stop. Way to go defense. No, James Houston's lined up off sides, which, there's the ball. Be behind it. I've never rushed to the passer, but I just feel like, is it that hard? I mean, there's the ball. Why are you lined up off sides? It makes no sense. Then they go, and then how they respond from that is a quick touchdown by Denver. Then they just open the floodgates. So do those 2 possessions change anything? Yeah, they actually do. They do change some things. We're talking about 11 points. It's 11-point swing there from being up 7-0, and then getting the ball, and then the next thing you know, you're down, so you're down by 4 when you should be up by 7 with the ball, and then that's how the game, the flow of the game goes. So I think it was big. All right, Kyle in Northern Illinois, what's up, Kyle?
Yep. How are we doing today, Nick?
How are you? Good to hear from you, first time caller.
Yes, sir.
All right, what's up, man?
Hey, what do you think that this Eberflus defense is working the way it should, or do we think that we need to really change some stuff up?
It's not working. They're the worst defense in the league by far.
I agree.
So
do you think going more man-to-man coverage and then blitzing a 5th guy to get pressure on the quarterback and things like that would be a way to go?
Yes, for the most part. And I'll finish this point after the call. I think it's a start, but there's a caveat there. But I'll let you finish if you have another point or 2.
Yeah, that was just my theory. It seemed like yes, we against Philly we did all right. Zone obviously against the Commanders last week we did all right, but every game since then it hasn't worked. So we got to figure out something different here. Is my theory, in my opinion. But hey, man, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
I'll listen to what you got to say after I get off the phone.
All right. Thanks, Kyle. Good to hear from you, and glad that you've got your first call in here. You're right. I mean, and whatever you try, it's not always going to work, but you have to kind of keep, trying it. The second touchdown of the game for Denver, still first quarter. They get a holding penalty, so it's 1st and 20. Back at the 25. Okay, you're in good shape here on defense. Have a good shot to hold them to a field goal. It's 1st and 20. I believe that is the down and distance. I want to get this one right because it is 1st and 20 at the 25 holding call. They blitzed Marquise Bell. Let's air quote on the blitz there because he didn't do anything. I mean, here he comes off the edge, and he's just picked up by a running back, and he it's a delayed blitz at that, and then he gets hit by the running back, and he's not doing anything, and therefore, I mean, it's a blitz, and nothing happened, and that's even more time for Nix to stand in there and find Franklin right over the middle for the touchdown at the end zone. So I'm the first one that's like, man, we need to see some more blitzes here. Got to blitz. Okay, but you got to get home. Can't just blitz the blitz, and you can't. I don't know about the delay blitzing. I don't think that does anything, but so that was a problem there. So I'm with you that they need to figure out ways to dial up pressure, but it's got to work. You can't just blitz the blitz because that's not 100% effective, and we saw that. That's just one example, but we saw that too. So they got to be even more creative. I don't think the answer is just blitz more because that'll lead to touchdowns too. All right, Rob in Vegas is next.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, it was awful. I shut the game off at halftime and turned on the hockey game. It's just
cool.
We saw this coming. I mean,
yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't. You might have. I did not see it coming. I thought the Cowboys were gonna. I thought Denver would not be able to win that back-to-back games like that. I thought Dallas would have.
Well, I think as a fan, you don't want to see it. I know I didn't want to see it, but we don't beat good teams. I mean, look at us this year. I mean, we beat the worst teams in the league. We're a bad team. We talk about the Jets and we're right with them. I mean, I'm hearing callers say we should save our draft picks and just use him, not go after Max Crosby because he couldn't help this team. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I didn't agree with
that
point.
He's an all-pro, probably the top 5, and you don't trust that guy to help you. But you trust a guy in the draft who's never played in the NFL is going to be the savior. That is the most ridiculous thing, especially with the track record of this team drafting defensive linemen. Micah was drafted as a linebacker. So, no, you make a move, and plus, it's not going to be a rental. Mm-hmm. It's going to be for 3-4 years. So that's ridiculous. If you can do it, you do it. You may not win it this year. You may not, feel the full impact. But it's a piece you need. I'd rather have that piece than an unknown piece. The offense, I thought, was bad. I thought the play calling on the goal line and on short yardage was bad. This coach, he talks a good game, and he keeps saying we want to be physical, but you don't try to be. You got a running back that is running hard. He runs hard on every play. And yet you don't give him a chance at the goal line. There was a 3rd and 1 where you tried to get cute and swing out a pass that got tipped. It's like, what are you doing? I thought it reminded me of the Chicago game when we didn't score on the goal line, when we had the opportunity to get up early. We got a gift with that interception. We're asking the defense, people are talking about blitzing. If you had great cornerbacks, you could blitz. We don't have anything. We don't have great cornerbacks. We don't have no pass rush whatsoever. So then you try to manufacture something, and Bo Nix still has too much time. I don't know how you help the team, but if you could get an all-pro player, it matters. That's all this league is about. Who has the best players?
Yeah.
And we just don't have enough of them.
I agree with you there, Rob. Thank you for the call. No disrespect to anyone else's opinions, and I get it. There's a lot to this, and it's not just about acquiring. It's how much do you have to give up for it. Sounds like there's been reports the Cowboys did call and inquire about a couple of players, and whether or not that's true, it's always kind of hard to speculate on those kind of things. So you don't want to give up the farm for things, but. Yeah, I'm 100% looking at the Cowboys adding players here, and that's like I said before because I'm looking at this schedule and I see it. I mean, they're 3-4-1. There's 9 games left. 9 games left in this season. This is exactly where they were. 7 years ago? Man, it's been 7 years. 2018, when they traded for Amari Cooper. Doesn't seem that long ago. It was 7 years, but they were 3-5, and now they're 3-4-1. So I mean, this is kind of where they are. And that team was different. That team was worse than this team, I think, because I don't think that team did anything like really well. This team does. I mean, their offense, it has some flaws, but I mean, it does do some things well. I know that this is not like a great stat or anything like that. I'm not trying to like pump sunshine into this, but I mean, I saw the Cowboys scored they scored in the fourth quarter, and it's 20 consecutive quarters that they've scored in this, including overtime and all that, going back to the first quarter of the Packers game. Since then, they've scored something in every quarter. And no team in the NFL has done that. Again, I'm not trying to tell you how things are great. What I'm saying is this offense has a little bit of consistency to it where they're going to score. They're going to do something. It's not enough. Sometimes it's field goals, and that's not enough to win with this defense. But 20 consecutive quarters shows that give them a chance. They're going to do something. They're going to score. It's something to work with. That's all I'm saying. It's something to work with, and they just need guys on defense. And I said this on the radio this morning, 105.3 The Fan, and I'll say it again. Are they one player away from what? I mean, people keep asking that. Well, this team's not just one player away. Even Jerry said it. I don't know if we're one player away. But one player away from what? A championship? Okay, no. This isn't a Charles Haley type situation. But one player away from getting off the field? Yeah. They are. They are one really good player away from getting off the field and getting a few stops. And that's, to me, all that you need right now. Just right now, with 9 games to go, you got to get off the field on defense. Get off the field. You can give me 4 or 5 stops a game, stop them on third down, or stop them on second down, on 2nd and 8, instead of them, getting 6-7 yards. You make a stop, and it's 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, then you can get off the field. It's not just third downs. It's 1st and 2nd downs, too. But, because they only had 8 third down conversions, 5 of 8. I mean, most teams are getting 12, 13, maybe 15, third downs. This team only got 8 yesterday. So, I mean, it was a problem all over the place. But, yeah, I think they are one player away from getting stops. And if your offense wasn't as good as they are, then, I would say, is that really going to matter? But in this case, yeah, it does. Because not only do you stop them and get the ball back, but if you make a stop, especially back in their own end, then, think about where you're getting the football. So I think this defense is a player away from being successful enough to really help your offense do what it needs to do. That's my stance on it. I know people disagree, and that's fine, and it just depends on what you have to give up. I think everybody would love to see a player in here, but just what do you have to give up for it, and does it make sense? All right, let's go to break real quick on Storyline. I'll be right back.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette. You know, Gillette's best shave is now available in cowboy colors, 50% longer-lasting blades than Fusion. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor is truly the best a Cowboys fan can get. You can get it at Gillette.com/NFL. All right, speaking of Gillette, the Precision Player of the Week, brought to you by Gillette. Joe Milton. Joe Milton comes off the bench, throws 4 passes, three completions, 1 for a touchdown. I mean, you know, who else could it be? You know, who else did their job? And that's something that Schottenheimer talked about. He said, he said that he told the team, if anyone did their job today, raise their hand and step forward. I mean, who had a great game? So based off that, it's kind of tough to pick anyone other than, you know, kicker, the snapper, the punter, I guess. But your backup quarterback sat there all day long, and then I'm not saying I was a big fan of pulling Dak, but you know, you have to kind of call it what it is. And at that point in the game, they put in Joe Milton. He goes down and throws a nice pass to Jalen Tolbert and got his feet in for a touchdown. And hey, I mean, at least they extended that streak of consecutive quarters with a score. So, you know what? Not a lot to pick from today. So, Gillette's Precision Player of the Week, Joe Milton. All right, let's go to Keith in Fernandina Beach, Florida.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing great. I tell you, you have pretty much said everything that I wanted to say this morning. You're absolutely right. You know, when they talk about, you know, you're 1 player away, 2 players away, we need good players, and I don't care how we get them. But for the pass rush, I don't think you're going to pick somebody up off the street. I think you're going to have to give some resources to get that. And there's going to be several teams that are going to be selling in the next week or so.
Right.
And within those teams, there's got to be a pass rusher that we can possibly get. And that's where it all starts. I mean, I don't care if you're running a 3-4, 4-3, Tampa 2, even the 46 defense the Bears ran in the 80s. It doesn't matter. If you don't have people putting pressure on the quarterback and speeding everything up,
right,
then you're going to get what we're getting right now. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you, Nick. Thank
you, Keith. Appreciate that. You know, there's a double problem going on here. I mean, they can't dial up any pressure. They don't have guys that are winning one-on-one battles. They're not doing that. Dante Fowler, this isn't the Fowler that, you know, we saw last year with Washington, or even the year before that with the Cowboys. I mean, he's just not winning. Sam Williams doesn't win off the line, and James Houston, I mean, he had a couple of nice wins, you know, early on in the season, but he hasn't really given you much. Marshawn Nealon, Clowney. I mean, yesterday they didn't. I mean, they did a little bit in Washington, and they've done some stuff in some other games, but this particular game they didn't at all. So that's a problem over here. Now, back here is safety. I mean, it's almost laughable, but, you know, think about what you had, you know, a month ago, 5 weeks ago. Well, Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, a couple of veteran safeties back there. They're not the best. I mean, I know that, but they're pretty good. I mean, they're solid at least. Well, they're not in the game. I mean, they're IR for Hooker, and he should be getting back soon with the toe injury. But Donovan Wilson was out. Wanye Thomas is your backup. A lot of people wanted to play instead of Donovan Wilson, and he's out. Not really sure the nature of his injury right now. And then, you know, so you play a guy named Elijah Clark. I'll be honest with you, man. I this isn't. I'm gonna kind of tell a story on myself here, because this just goes to show how much we've seen of Elijah Clark. I thought he spelled his name with an E. Honestly, I thought that's how you spelled Elijah. I was a little surprised to see it spelled that way. It's not. That's not actually. That's not a good story for me as a journalist. But I'm just saying I didn't know much about him. I know he's 38 from Syracuse. He's over here starting. Then he gets hurt and he's out. So it's like, guys, did you know Corey Ballantyne was on the practice squad, and then now he's about to play, and then they ended up going with Reddy Stewart, who's really a corner. He's playing safety. So I'm just saying, you got issues here at safety. You don't even know. I mean, you're getting guys that probably are fortunate to even be in the NFL, and they're having to play for you, and then they're playing on the back end of a defense that has no pass rush on the front end. You say all that, and you're kind of surprised that the Broncos just scored 44. I mean, seriously. Josh in Princeton.
Hey, Nick, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I haven't been listening to the show, so I don't know what all has been discussed, but Denver is a pretty good team. They got talent on both sides of the ball. They seem to be well coached.
Yeah.
When they got the interception on Denver's first drive and made it to the one and couldn't score a touchdown, I knew it was going to be a long afternoon, and I'll just leave it there.
Yeah. Thanks for the call. You know, I didn't go that far because maybe I'm just kind of an optimist a little bit. You know, I looked at it like there's two ways you can take that. You're like, why not just go for it? You know, just go for the touchdown because this is a possession you didn't even think you had. Or you can say, just get points because this is not a possession that you thought you even had. So just get points out of it. And I think if they would have run that play on third down and been stopped, they probably would have gone for it on fourth down from the one. That goes back to, I guess, the previous caller. No, it was Rob. It was Rob that said, you know, they got cute there. 2nd and 1, they did. They got cute. They threw the ball up and to Pickens and, you know, with Surtain made the play. I just feel like, and this is what I tweeted this out. You know, I said I would have just told Javonte Williams that team over there did not want you. They let you go. They didn't think you were good enough to be on their team, and they wanted J.K. Dobbins instead of you. So take whatever you want with that. Now here you go. Here's the football. Get mad and go run in. 2nd and 1. They're not stopping him 3 times in a row. They're just not. And especially with Tyler Smith and Booker and those guys, they can move people just enough. Hunter Lipke can get in there. Javonte run. They're not going to stop him every time. There's no way. So, and here's another thing. Until the NFL bans this play, which they will at some point, the tush push is going away. Okay, I really believe that. But until they do it, if you're going to run a quarterback sneak, at least push him in the back. I mean, at least, you know, while cheating is legal, do it. Push them. I mean, the Cowboys are like jumping to 2026 already with their quarterback sneak. And, I mean, they did it in the second quarter where Dak got no movement at all. It's like they won't push him in the back like every other team does. I don't get that. But you're right. When they didn't score right there, it was a sign of what was to come. All right, Big Mo is in California. Big Mo.
Hey, Nick, what's up, man? It's Big Mo from Cali, man.
How you doing?
I don't know, man. This thing is so disappointing, man. You know, you sit there and you look at that, man. You know, these guys are running the ball on you down your throat. These guys are playing these guys right by them, man. We need some dogs on this defense, man. You know, at some point, we have to make a choice to either stop the run or stop the pass. You got to take some chances, man.
Yeah.
He's sitting back here playing this vanilla defense and unpredictable first down running plays, man. Send in the run blitz, right?
Yeah.
Help the front four out. You know, we got to take chances, at this point. And the last point I got to make, man, what the HELL is up with Trayvon Diggs? He's been so disappointing this year. Is he trade bait at this point? Where do we go?
Yeah, thanks, Big Mo. Appreciate that. Thank you for the call. First-time caller, by the way. There we go. And, boy, you could just hear the frustration, right? And it's the first time he's called in, but, you could just hear it. And it's here. I mean, the frustration is here. I mean, there's just so many question marks. I mean, what's What do you do? What do you do on this defense? How do you fix it? I mean, who do you blitz with? I mean, Marquise Bell. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on him, but I mean, if you're gonna blitz like that, I mean, you got to beat the running back, man. You got to beat him, who's just a sitting duck there. You got to get around him and put a little pressure on him. I mean, it was just like he was there for a high school dance. It was just like, hey, what's going on? Oh, you're doing good. All right, Bo Nix, that touchdown. I mean, get around him, do something. I mean, like that. I just thought that was a unfortunate sign too, because especially when you're sitting there and we don't have the answers. None of us have the answers, but we like to think that we do. So we sit there and we're like, they need to blitz more, right? Blitz. Say that against after the Carolina game. Hey, Washington, blitz more. Oh, cool. Shamar James blitzes, gets a sack, knocks their quarterback out of the game, gets a forced fumble. They ended up winning the game, and they had, 4 sacks, and a couple of them were on the blitz. You're like, see? Blitz. And then the next week, Denver, they need to blitz. And then you see that play, and you're like, so blitz doesn't always work, huh? It's frustrating. You want your points to work, and when they don't, then you're like, now what? See how I'm avoiding the Trayvon Diggs question? I don't know. I really don't. I like Trayvon. It's been a disappointing season, though, for both sides, because it's almost like they're just drawing a line in the sand and be like, see, Trayvon, this is how we have to do things. You have to do it like this. If you're not going to be on board, then you're not going to play. We're not. Okay. But this ain't working over here. I mean, like, okay, but are you making a point? Who's making the point here? I mean, is Trayvon making a point? I mean, it's not working well for him. But I'm talking about things that I don't necessarily know about. I don't know what's going on in his life. I don't know what's going on personally. I'm not sure how he is physically. I mean, he was battling a knee injury and he's come back from that. Did he rehab it the right way? I don't know. I never would have thought he was going to play that first game. He played pretty well on a pitch count. I think when he has to just go cover his guy, he's not bad. He's actually really good. Forget not bad. He's really good. He can cover wide receivers. But there's just so much more to it, and I don't have all the answers to it, and I don't really know who does. All right, Jeremy in Salt Lake City.
Hey, Nick, what's going on?
Hey.
I called in to get some answers today, man.
Well, it's Monday.
Sounds like you're fresh out, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what the question is. I can how about 11?
Yeah.
That's my answer,
right?
11. I don't know.
Yeah.
11.
No, I hear you, man. It was so disappointing, right? These kinds of losses are, they're just, after being up and it's just like this roller coaster we've been. I'm one that usually would defend the coordinator, because it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback for all of us.
Uh-huh.
But I just don't see him trying anything. I mean, it's like you said, we blitzed. I don't want him calling defenses to make the fans happy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I want him calling defenses to stop the other damn team. And it's just like watching your kid get beat up, and not being able to do anything about it,
Yeah.
And it's just like at some point, somebody's got to have some pride in what they do. Like you were right on that blitz, a half-assed effort like that. Like, come on, like what are we doing? And seeing CD on the sideline, just looking up at the sky, and just I could tell what's going through his head is what's going through the rest of the fans' head. I mean, the offense wasn't where they've been, but I still feel like Dak was pressing on those picks. Those wouldn't have happened if we wouldn't have been in such bad situations defensively.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're all just trying to do too much, and not having Ferguson with one catch, didn't even get a lead in the league and then doesn't even get a catch. It's like sometimes we just forget who we are on offense because I think the defense takes us out of the game. And he's just sitting there wondering, like, what am I doing? Like, I just don't see how this gets any better. And
all right.
I'm always gonna be positive, but man,
I hope this isn't positive. No, I get it, Jeremy. Thank you for the call. Now you're talking about CD and what CD's thinking. I'd like to know too. Like, I went back and watched some of the highlights or plays, and the interception over the middle. The pass to not the one to Ferguson. That was a bad throw by Dak. That was a bad decision. This is the worst play of the month. He's had a great month. He's been pretty perfect. And that was just an unnecessary throw down the middle to he was covered short and high. I just don't get it. But the pass to CD, when you go back and look at it, I don't even know what CD's doing. I mean, if you just watch him the entire way, he's just kind of floating across, not even looking like it was almost like it was a scout team Saturday practice where he's just kind of going through and he thinks this is a run up the middle or something. He's not even looking for the pass. He's not even running a route. That was just absolute miscommunication, and I don't want to blame anybody because you don't know what it is, but I would like to think that if you're running a route, you should expect maybe the ball's going to come your way. So that was a weird play for sure. And they were already down pretty big, but if they would have scored there, you're still going to put more pressure on Denver, but that kind of killed everything. All right, let's go to break real quick, and we'll be back to get at least one more call.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, this segment presented by Yeti. Officially licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is available at Stadium Pro Shops, concession, and on Yeti.com. Let's go to the phone line. Dylan in Northport, Florida. Dylan, what's up?
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Good. You got answers?
Nope. I got more questions for you, though.
All right.
Yeah, so first off, went outside, and my Halloween decorations were all deflated this morning, just like the rest of us. I just thought, well, that figures. That makes sense. And I do have a question for you, though, here. Do you think this team is in need of a defensive rebuild after this season? Like, do they have any bones? What are the bones of this defense?
Yeah, they're broken. I mean, they're I mean, I don't know. You're saying like who's the guy to build around?
Well, they're like a pile of goop right now, right? Yeah, there's no guy to build around right now. So in terms of making a trade, I guess it makes sense if you want to say we need to start somewhere with somebody who's really, really good and proven. At the same time, you can go, even without the injuries, just looking at all the healthy players before the season started, you can go position by position and say, that might not be great there. And you're right about the diaper disguised it all. So with that in mind, I'm almost of the mindset that I kind of want to see if there's a market to maybe trade away some players. And I know you'll probably disagree with me there, and a lot of people disagree with me, I'm sure, on that. But they need a lot of players.
Who do you think?
Well, that's the other part of it, right, is who is interesting. Diggs, I think, obviously somebody you might be able to shop. And you're not going to have him next year, I'm assuming. He's probably going to be gone. Mozzie, maybe with some draft bias, you can get a 6th-round pick for or something like that. Sam Williams, untapped potential. Tolbert, he's a reliable vet. It's going to be a tough sell, but it's almost like, do we at least try to sell somebody and just really stack up the picks up for the defensive rebuild next year? Is it even possible? It's a tough position, and you got to keep in mind Dak's contract too. You're working within a 2028 time frame, so it's like, what is the right answer here? Just more questions, I guess.
Yeah, well, you're right about that. Thanks for the call. You mentioned a lot of players. I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't imagine anybody that would want these guys. The Tolbert and Sam Williams and Mozzie, the guys that you're especially on defense. I mean, your defense is the worst in the league, and you got guys that aren't even starting on this defense. So to answer your question on who do you have to kind of build around, I mean, the guys that you have to build around are the ones that you paid. I mean, and that's what they did. They paid Osa, they paid Deron Bland. Those guys are not going anywhere. I mean, that's you think you got a pretty good playmaking defensive back, corner, and you got a defensive tackle there in Osa, but he hasn't played that well either this year. He hasn't made a huge impact. So, and then you'd like to think you have a good young player in Overshown, but he's got to prove that he can stay healthy too. So that's going to be the key there. And speaking of him, maybe he comes back in a week or two. Sebastian in Savannah will be our last caller. Sebastian, what's up?
Good morning, sir. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want to start out by first giving some credit to the front office. They did a lot more this offseason than they ever have in any season that I've seen. Because I've only been watching about 18 years now, right?
Right.
Jerry Jones, you built this team to be the most valuable franchise in the world. But at the end of the day, we haven't had a complete team since the Jimmy Johnson era. So when it comes to the question of was it Jerry or was it Jimmy, it's leaning Jimmy, right?
Right.
We got 9 games left to go in the season.
Right.
At this point, we know what our defense is. Mm-hmm. For the first time ever, the world is saying, you got an MVP quarterback. You got to do something with that. But we can't. You can't fix this massive hole in one season. So I go to Will McClay, and for the first time I say, listen, the buck no longer stops with me. Will, we got this much money. We got this as our core. We got this as our defensive coordinator. I'm going to give you the rest of this season to put together the best team that you can going forward so we can try to sneak into the playoffs. And in the offseason, we're going to tackle this thing from every angle, the UFL, free agency, and the draft. Straight defense. Can you fix this? You're the guy. We don't need all the Chiefs that we've had over the last several years where it's this collective, and it just seems like it's not working as a whole. You've seen it, I've seen it. All the fans know, all the world knows what our team is. We have a phenomenal offense, but the defense is so bad, it's starting to affect your quarterback and your offensive coordinator's mindsets when they go into the game. You can see the desperation in their face when the defense goes out there, and I feel personally irritated when I see the defense celebrating and you get an interception, but you were 5 yards behind the guy. And then, the safety and the quarterback are celebrating in the end zone, but he overthrew him by 5 yards. He was wide open. And this is every game, every down. So I don't think we can fix this all in one season. I give this 2 seasons. And I think the thing was with Brian Schottenheimer, we had that Matrix feeling, like when Miles is seeing Neo for the first time and he's doing that jump off the roof, and they're like, no one makes it on the first time. But you go, but what if? This team's identity is false hope right now. And I'll hang up and listen.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about 2 years to fix it. About 2 days, 3 days, get an extra day, get it fixed. I mean, this is not the business that this is as a fans reality is like, because they know the fans know where they're going to be next year. They're going to be rooting for the Cowboys. As painfully as it could be sometimes, that's where they're going to be. So it's easy for a fan to say, well, this isn't the year for it. Let's go and let's don't do anything to mess up our draft and all this kind of stuff. But that's not the reality that the coaches and players live in. You know what I mean? Now the front office can a little bit because they know where they're going to be. But the goal is to try to figure out how to beat the Cardinals this week to get the 4-4-1 at the bye. That's what they got to do. They got to do that. So I understand the big picture thoughts, but it's trying to figure out how do you win this week against the Cardinals, the absolute biggest game of the year, because it's the next one, and it's the one to put you right back at 500 at the bye. 4-4-1, that's where they have to be. If they want to do anything, they got to, then go to Vegas, and then we know the gauntlet that's behind them there. They're going to have to steal some wins. They're going to have to do that. They're going to have to figure out how to win some of these home games, and they're winnable. They're winnable. The Eagles, you can beat the Eagles at home. You can. You can beat the Chargers and the Vikings. I don't know about the Chiefs right now. Mahomes could score 50 the way that this defense is playing right now. So they have to figure out how to get stops. But one game at a time. It's not about next year and all that. It's about how do they beat the Cardinals this week? How do they get off the field a few more times and get the ball to the offense? That's what it is. I get big pictures there, but this team it would do everyone a disservice if they're not trying to go and figure out how to win next Monday night. That's just my take on it. You guys aren't wrong with big picture thoughts, but also remember it's about tunnel vision right here, right now. Figure out how to win. You're not even at the halfway point. You've got something really good to work with, but you got to figure out how to take this worst defense in the NFL and make them even close to average. If you can do that, you'll have something here. But I think that's where things stand right now. But we'll talk about it all week long. We'll talk about it. We got a few more shows before the Cowboys take on the Cardinals, and it starts tomorrow. So for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you tomorrow on Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!